somebody who has their ideal self who they show to the world. That's what he showed to most people, and the real self was locked inside, and that's what his poem talked about. Then through time, all the emotion and all the weight and all the burdens that he carried with him, something just kind of overwhelmed him. At the time, the government's the parent in this situation, and they're taking care of their children in a way. They have not only these miners, but a whole country and the whole psyche of Chile behind them. You know, because you have this mining industry here that's very much a cornerstone of the income, the economy of that country, they have to make sure that the psyche of their miners is healthy, but also how the whole country moves through this, which was why it was so important to execute this flawlessly. And author, psychologist, media consultant, and hopefully now I can add comedian to that. You know what that all means is that I'm not only a doctor, but I play one on TV.
Hey, America.
Hey, America.
Hey, America, are you ready for Dr. E?
Welcome to Off the Couch with Dr. E. Some people would say that all the world is a stage. I believe that all the world is therapy. Through this series, I want to take you on a journey. We're going to have one of you guys on the rope, and you're going to be climbing the wall. And the other person is going to be holding that rope and guiding. One of you guys is going to be blindfolded. Okay? Sometimes you have to work to reach the things in your relationship that you want to. And you have to take those risks to step over, even though you see something else you want more, you still have to build your relationship on those foundations.
True, very true. I overlooked that.
But that's why so many relationships don't work, because people overlook some of the smaller things in life that really become the bigger things when we add them up, and faith is a huge issue in relationships. So I have been on Fox numerous times, not on Cops yet. My concern is for the guilt that you may feel, rational or not. You did everything you could, and the thing you have to understand is the fear protects us and keeps us alive. Your fear did exactly what it needed to do to keep you alive. The problem with guilt is it often sets in later.
So reject that feeling to be stoic, to just be still and be the strong, stable one.
Exactly, because to me it takes more courage to show the emotion, the sadness and things like that, than it does to just put a brave face on. I know we want to be strong for our kids, but sometimes being strong for our kids is being real and honest and letting them know.
How harmful is this hovering over our children?
Well, you know, our job as a parent is to work ourselves out of a job, and that's what we have to understand is basically we want to be downsized. You know? What I say is that the core of an anxiety disorder is a feeling of helplessness, whether the onset is genetic in nature, which sometimes they are, or whether there's life experiences that may feed that. We have to do this is almost a vicarious grief that we see the grieving other people are going through, and with our kids, so many of us fear losing them that when we see other people's loss, it brings out our own fears, and we almost play it out in our heads. I have been on CNN numerous times. You know Anderson Cooper? Anyone?
Yep. Yeah.
You do?
Yep.
Can you let him know to return my calls? Is the issue of making sure that we don't start to characterize kids with autism as threats. And I think the
Children now about why he would do this.
That sometimes we don't always know why people do the things they do. However, if we can pull together as a community and make sure kids aren't left behind, to make sure that kids with needs or with family struggles or things have the connections they need. This is a person who perceives himself as a victim first. In the role that he's playing in his neighborhood watch, he's trying to take care of everybody and play a rescuer, and Trayvon becomes his suspected persecutor. But for people who play the victim a lot, and I call them chronic victims, it's always a matter of time till their rescuer becomes their persecutor. In other words, here he has his attorneys that are supposed to represent him and help him, but something happened and shifted, and he felt he needed to take control.
Is that a different kind of fear where it's something that you don't know when it's going to come, it just may arrive at any point?
Well, when we look at, I always look at a range from logic to panic or terror. And we look at logic. Logic is that thought that helps us to reason through things. Then we might move to concern, then fear, or worry, then fear, then panic and terror. Those are all progressions from what our body or our mind or whatever is trying to tell us to prepare for some oncoming event. Tornadoes are quick. Okay, reach over a little more. There you go. You just grabbed onto happiness. Excellent. How are you feeling?
Now I feel happy.
Okay.
is that you love a lot, laugh often, and live your life to the fullest. Thank you.